Hi, I'm Haley Farah and I'm a restorative facilitator, and I thought I'd make this quick video to explain a little bit about what that is and what to expect if you're entering a restorative process. So firstly, restorative practices look at the repair of harm, especially within relationships. The first thing that happens in any restorative process is that you'll meet with a facilitator. In that conversation, you'll get to know each other a bit better. You'll have the opportunity to ask any questions that you might have, to cover any worries or concerns that you might have. And that entire conversation is completely confidential and private. Within that conversation, the facilitator will walk you through the restorative framework, and they're also going to assess for suitability for any future work together. You don't need to prepare for this conversation, and you don't need to know all the answers. What does the framework look like? It's three main topics. The first, what's important about what happened? The second, who's affected and how? And the third, what needs to happen to repair any harm suffered and to prevent reoccurrence? We're not looking to blame, shame, punish anybody. We're just trying to understand and repair to whatever degree possible. While you're discussing this, as you're walking through this framework, the restorative facilitator is also going to be checking for suitability. Is this an appropriate process for responding to the experience that you've had? There are three suitability criteria for any restorative process to go ahead. The first, do no further harm. Sounds obvious, but we don't want to cause any new harm in a restorative process. It's okay if it's uncomfortable. We expect dealing with conflict to be challenging at times, but it shouldn't cause a new injury. And that's something we're listening for. Is there a risk of this happening? Number two, it's a voluntary process for all involved. And third, everyone is invited to take responsibility for the impacts of their actions. You don't have to take responsibility for all of the harm experienced within a conflict or an incident, but if something that you've done, even inadvertently, has caused harm, we're going to ask you to take responsibility for that and to be willing to start putting things right. If these three criteria are met, then we'll keep going, and what happens next is up to you. Commonly, it involves a facilitated dialogue with other impacted parties. Within that conversation, we explore those same three restorative questions. We hear from each person what's happened from their perspective and how they've been impacted and how they've seen others be impacted. With that understanding of how everyone's been affected and what all of the harms may have been, we now have all the information we need to start putting things right, and reaching agreements on what that might be is something the facilitator will support you to do. And from there, implementing it is over to you. You're the expert of your own life. You're the expert of the situation, your experience, and so therefore you're the only one that can answer the question of what you need to repair the harm. We'll support you to do that within the framework of a restorative process with the expertise to keep you and others psychologically and emotionally safe. But restorative practices are all about empowering the parties at the heart of the matter to be the ones that are taking the reins on what needs to happen as a result of the matter. Restorative processes are simple but powerful tools to repair your relationships and to see harm prevented. You can find some more of this detail on our website, or you're welcome to reach out with any questions, or if you think that maybe a restorative process would be right for a situation in your life. Thanks. Have a great day.